Am I ready to record a video today? Probably not. It's been an awkward day.
How?
Because this morning I woke up with extra crippled legs. My legs are like really sore today. So
Maybe you're finally getting like taller.
possibly.
Probably not though.
I think it was just the way that I slept. But the point of today's video is so I don't have to go outside and do anything, but also you guys get some content. So, what is the best things to get if you use a wheelchair, in my opinion? These are all like, I'm going to go through a bunch of different add-ons for the wheelchairs till a fucking plane goes overhead. So, yeah, let's start off with the first bit of like equipment that you can get for your wheelchair. And now this is, in my opinion, the worst thing. Obviously, it heavily depends on the person because, you know, some people may have weaker arms or quadriplegics, tetraplegics, where they have limited use of their arms. But this is a motorized front attachment that basically turns your wheelchair into a trike. Now, the reason I don't really like this is because, in my opinion, I prefer to be pushing my own wheelchair. It's a lot easier to control, like how it goes around. And also, I feel like having the motor, you might as well just be like driving or using a electric an electric wheelchair or something. Now, obviously, I do understand like it's good for people that have limited use of their arms, but just for me personally, it's not something that I would really like unless I have like a broken arm or something, which has happened quite a few times. But they're also really expensive, like they're way more expensive than they should be, which again is part of the reason why I may be a little bit biased to them. So, that's probably the only thing on this list that I don't have any interest in getting, because there's just a lot better options out there, personally for me. Again, this isn't me saying don't go out and get anything, because, you know, it may benefit you a lot more than some other people. But yeah, let's move on to the next thing, which is a freewheel. So, basically, the reason why the freewheel is quite low on the list is because I really like it. I am thinking about getting one at some point. However, they're quite expensive again, 300 to 500 quid depending on the design and stuff, which is why I'm a little bit skeptical on whether or not I should get one, because basically what they do is they attach to the footplate of your wheelchair and they'll lift it up. Now, this is really good for off-road terrain and like rocky terrain or grassy fields. But there's also some problems with them, such as the price and the fact that they can easily be replaced by knowing how to do a back wheel balance. But they are really useful. I have tried one out before and I really liked it. So, I don't know, I might get one, might not. I'm still thinking about it, because they are good, but there is definitely easier ways of dealing with it. Now, the next thing that I'm going to say is so simple, but it's a cup holder for the wheelchair. Now, the reason why a cup holder is so useful is because when you're pushing with a wheelchair, you have to use your hands to push. But when you're holding a drink, where do you think is a good place to put it?
In between your legs?
Especially if it's a hot drink, yes.
I've done it. I haven't burnt my dick off yet.
Yeah, now imagine that whilst you're pushing along in a wheelchair. The hot drink that's going to be sloshing around a little bit.
Well, just
That's the problem.
wear protection.
So yeah, that a cup holder is so useful because depending on the one, you know, you can get some basic ones which are just clips for a drink holder, for water bottles or anything. They're always quite cheap, I think, from the ones that I've seen. So yeah, that's basically it. It's a way of holding a drink without using hands. I don't know how it would work with like a mug or something because they still would get sloshed around a little bit. However, if they do it in the same design as the camera holders, you know, with the gyroscope, so no matter how you position it, it will still keep it upright. I think that could be a really good invention, I guess. So, hey, if you're like an engineer out there, try that. Try build it. In fact, I might work on one. It's a good idea. I'm big brain. So, that was one of the last things on this list. But for the last thing on the list, what, in my opinion, is the most important thing for a wheelchair? A bag. Just a regular backpack, rucksack, whatever the fuck you want to call it, bag. They are so useful. Because, as I said, you know, with pushing around in the wheelchair, you have some difficulties with using your pockets. Because everything likes to fall out of them, because you sat down, they like loosen up for some reason, and they just weren't designed for that. But with a backpack, it's so much easier, and most rucksacks come with like a water bottle holder, like my one that I did a video on packing for college and stuff. They are so useful. I want to get like one that I just keep on my wheelchair at all times, to be honest, because depending on how heavy you make it, they can make your chair a little bit more tippy, but I mean, I spend most of my time on the back wheels anyway, so it doesn't really affect me. And also, you know, it's just a bag. It's so useful. You can also wear it on the wheelchair or on your shoulders. So yeah, that's what I'm putting on the list. I know it isn't technically a specific thing, but it is something that I love. And I think more wheelchairs should come with like a backpack attachment, I guess. So it's like built into the back padding. I don't know how that would work again, but it's just something that I think should happen. So yeah, that's basically it for today's video, guys. I can't really think of that much else equipment, like that much other equipment to use for a wheelchair, at least in my opinion. So if you agree with anything on this list, definitely let me know. I'm really interested to find out. And if you disagree with anything, also let me know. I kind of want to hear your opinions on everything that I said. As I said, most of this stuff can be swapped around, especially the last three, at least for me, because everything is just so mixed up. And in fact, I'm thinking about, imagine like this video, except I swapped where the freewheel and the cup holder are, because I just realised that the bag has the cup holder. So if you just have a bag and a freewheel, then you don't need a cup holder, because that'd be fucking big brain, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's all for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, all of that usual stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye.